Good day, student. This is Ma'am Annalina Mefuentes, a mathematics teacher. In this video lesson, you will learn and understand the joint and combined variation. So, the joint and combined variation is the third and fourth kinds or types of the variations. So, the joint variation and the combined variation. First is the joint variation. The joint variation y varies jointly as x and z if there exists a non-zero number k such that y is equal to k times x times z, where x and z is not equal to 0. So, dapat ang x and z mo is not equal to 0. Then, the area of a triangle depends on its base, b, and its altitude, h, by the formula. So, this is an example. Then, a is equal to k times b times h. Then, the given values for a, b, and h is, the value for a is equal to 12, for b is equal to 6, and the value of h is equal to 4. Now, the simplify the 6 times 4. So, 6 times 4 is equal to 24. Then, copy the 12. Then, multiply it to k. So, it will become 24k. So, if you have 24k is equal to 12, to get the value of k, divide both sides by 24. So, 24 divided by 24 is equal to 1 times k, that is equal to k. Then, 12 divided by 24, 12 and 24 is divisible by 12. So, 12 divided by 12 is equal to 1, and 24 divided by 12 is equal to 2. So, in this example, the values of k, or the value of k, is equal to 1/2. The equation for the area of a triangle is a is equal to 1/2 times b times h, where a is the area and b is the base, h is the altitude, and 1/2 is the constant of the variation, since the k is the constant. Next is the example number 1. The area of a trapezoid varies jointly as the height h and the sum of the bases b sub 1 and b sub 2. Find the equation of joint variation if a is equal to 40 meter, h is equal to 4 meter, b sub 1 is equal to 8 meter, and b sub 2 is equal to 12 meter. So, the solution is, if the given equation is a is equal to k times h times the quantity of b sub 1 plus b sub 2, substitute the given values to the given equation. So, our equation become 40 is equal to k times 4 times the quantity of 8 plus 12. So, 8 plus 12 is equal to 20. Then, 20 times 4 is equal to 80. Then, 80 times k is equal to 80k. Then, equal to 40. Let's see if, or let's find the value of k. So, to find the value of k, divide both sides by 80. So, 80 divided by 80 is 1. 1 times k is equal to k. Then, 40 divided by 80 is 40, and 80 is divisible by 12. So, by 40. So, 40 divided by 40 is equal to 1. And 80 divided by 40 is equal to 2. So, k is equal to 1/2. So, the equation of the area of a trapezoid is a is equal to 1/2 times h times b sub 1 plus b sub 2. Next is, we will check if k is correct, or 1/2 is correct for the constant. So, a is equal to 1/2 times h This is the equation. We will just substitute or sinubstitute na natin ang value ng k, which is 1/2. So, a is equal to 1/2 times h times the quantity of b sub 1 plus b sub 2. Then, substitute the values of the variables, which is 40 is equal to 1/2 times 4 times the quantity of 8 plus 12. So, 8 plus 12 is equal to 20. Then, 20 times 4 is equal to 80. Then, 80, if you multiply 80 by 1/2, 80, this is 80. 80 times 1/2 is equal to 40 because 80 divided by 2 is equal to 40 times 1, that is 40. So, thus, the equation is correct. So, the equation is correct and the values of, or the value of k or the r constant is correct. So, for the number 2 example, suppose y varies jointly, sorry for the typo, jointly as x and z, and y is equal to 32 when x is equal to 8 and z is equal to 2. Find y when x is equal to 15 and z is equal to 6. So first, ang problem natin is suppose y varies jointly as x and z and y is equal to 32, ang hahanapin natin dito ay ang k. So, the equation for joint variation is y is equal to k times x times z. So, to find the value of k, we will use this equation. Then, substitute the given value for x, y, and z. So, the value for y is equal to 32, the value of x is equal to 8, and the value of z is equal to 2. Now, simplify. So, 8 times 2 is equal to 16. So, 8 times 2 is equal to 16 times k, that is 16k, is equal to 32. Then, to get the value of k, divide both sides by 16. So, 16 divided by 16 is equal to 1 times k, that is equal to k, is equal to 32 divided by 16 is equal to 2 because 16 plus 16 is equal to 32, or 16 times 2 is equal to 32. So, rk, or the value of rk, is equal to 2. Then next is the second problem. So, the second problem is find y. Y ang hahanapin natin when x is equal to 15 and z is equal to 6. So, gagamitin din natin itong value ng k. Next is rewriting the equation y is equal to k times x times z with k is equal to 2, we have y is equal to 2 times x times z. So, sinubstitute na natin ang value ng k, which is 2. Then, to find y when x is equal to 15 and z is equal to 6, we have, so substitute the values of x and z. So, in PEMDAS, lagi niyong uunahin ang parenthesis. Pag may parenthesis, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So, first is the 15 times 6. 15 times 6 is equal to 90. Then 90 times 2 is equal to 180. So, the value of ry is equal to 180. Next is the combined variation. So, the combined variation is the last variation or the last type of the variation. Then, if a situation is modeled by an equation of the form y is equal to k times x, over or divided by z, where k is a non-zero constant, we say that y varies directly as x and inversely as z. So, pinagsama na dito ang directly and inversely dito sa combined variation. Ang direct variation at inverse variation ay pinagsama, kaya naging combined variation. So, the number k is called the variation constant. So, kung mapapansin nyo, simula sa direct variation, sa inverse variation, sa joint variation, hanggang dito sa combined variation, k is always the constant. Then, example number 1, if y varies directly with the square of x and inversely with z and y is equal to 1, when x is equal to 2 and z is equal to 10, find y when x is equal to 4 and z is equal to 5. So, first we will find first the value of k. So, if the equation is y is equal to k times x squared, since ang sabi sa problem natin is with the square of x. So y is equal to k times x squared divided by z. So, y varies directly as the square x and inversely with z. So, substitute the given value for y, for x, and for z to find the value of k. So, the given value for y is equal to 1. Then, the given value for x is equal to 2. Then, since may squared, ilalagay din natin ng squared. Then, the given value of z is equal to 10. So, 1 copy the value of y, which is 1, then is equal to 2 squared, or 2 times 2 is equal to 4 times k, that is 4k. So, that is 4k times 10, since the z or the value of z is 10. Then, to get the value of k, or para alisin ang denominator dito sa 4k over 10, para makuha natin ang value ng k, imumultiply natin ang 1 is equal to 4k divided by 10 sa 10, because the LCD is 10. Kasi pag linagyan din natin ng denominator itong 1, magiging 1 over 1. So, ang LCD ng 1 and 10 is 10. So, i-multiply natin into 10. So, 1, multiply both side by 10. 1 is equal to 4k over 10 times 10. So, 10 times 1 is equal to 10, is equal to, then 10 divided by 10 is equal to 1, times 4k, that is 4k. So, now we have 4k is equal to 10. Now, we can divide it by 4, divide both sides by 4 to get the value of k. So, divide both sides by 4. So, 4 divided by 4 is equal to 1 times k, that is k, is equal to 10 divided by 4 is 2. I think 2. So, 10 divided by 4. Pag decimal ito ha. 10 divided by 4 is equal to 2. Then, 2 times 4 is 8. Then, 0 minus 8 cannot be. So, magbabaraw tayo. Magiging 10 ito. Ito magiging 0. So, 10 minus 2 is equal to, 10 minus 8 is equal to 2 rather, sorry. So, add 0. So, 20 divided by 4 is equal to 5. So, dito ang answer dito is 2.5. 2.5, or pag linowest term lang natin ang 10 over 4, that is equal to 5 over 2. Kung gusto nyo yung decimal, ang answer sa decimal is 2.5. Kung gusto nyo yung fraction, ang answer sa fraction is 5 over 2. Next is to find y when x is equal to 4 and z is equal to 5, replace x with 4 and z with 5, thus the equation y is equal to k times x squared over z become y is equal to 5 over 2 times 4 squared divided by 5. So, replace k with 5 over 2 and x with 4 and z with 5. So, ang 5 over 2 natin is nanggaling sa values ng k, yung nakuha natin kanina. Then, ang 4 is the given value of x. Then, the 5 is the given value for z. So, simplify. So, 5 over 2 times 16 is equal to, so, ita-times natin ito. So, 5 over 2 or kung gusto nyo, kung mano-mano lang kayo, since 5 over 2 is equal to 2.5, then multiply it to 16. So, 6 times 5 is equal to 30. Then, 6 times carry 3. 6 times 2 is equal to 12 plus 3. It is equal to 15. Then, 1 times 5 is equal to 5. 1 times 2 is equal to 2. That is, then, add 0, 0, bring down 0. And 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. Bring down 0. Carry 1. And 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 plus 2. That is equal to 4. So, 4, may decimal tayo, magdi-decimal din tayo. So, 40 divided by 8. So, 40 divided by, 40 divided by 5, I mean. So, 40 divided by 5 divided by 5 is equal to 8. So, the final answer is equal to 8. So, for the example number 2, the time t it takes to construct a highway varies directly as the length of the road 1, but inversely with the number of workers or W. If it takes 50 workers and weeks to construct kilometer of highway, how long will it take 80 workers to construct 15 kilometers of highway? This is example of joint and combined variation. So, first, for the solution, the relationship between the variables t and 1 and w, w can be expressed by the equation t is equal to k times L. K times L over W. So, sorry, this is not 1. That is L. So, K times L varies directly and W varies inversely. Substitute the known values in the combined variation model to find K. So, hahanapin ulit natin ang K dito sa number 2. So, 8 is equal to K times 2 over 50. So, 2K is equal, 2K, magiging ang equation natin is 8 is equal to 2K over 50. Then, multiply both sides by 50. So, 50 divided by 50 is equal to 1 times 2K, that is equal to 2K. Then, 50 times 8, that is equal to 400. So, 400 is equal to 2k. Then, to get the value of k, divide both sides by 2. So, 2 divided by 2 is equal to 1. Then, 1 times k is equal to k. Then, 400 divided by 2 is equal to 200. So, the value of our k is equal to 200. Now, substitute 80 for W, 15 for L, and 200 for K in the equation. T is equal to K times L and simplify. So, T is equal to 200 times L over W. So, that is, yung unang sinubstitute natin is the value of K. So, now, isa-substitute na rin natin pati ang values ng L and W. So, T is equal to 200 times 15 divided by 80. So, 200 times 15 is equal to 5 times 0, 0, 0, then 10. Then 1 times 0 is 0, 0, 2. Then 0 plus, bring down 0. Then 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0. Then 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. So, we have 3,000 divided by 80. So, 3,000 divided by 80, 3,000 divided by 80 sa 30, hindi siya pwede. So, sa 300. So, ma'am, paano po So, ulitin natin. So, 3,000 divided by 80. Paano mag-divide? So, ang hahanapin natin is kung ilang 80 meron sa 300. So, para mas madali, kahit walang calculator, ganito ang gawin. So, 80 plus 80 is equal to 160 plus 80. That is equal to 0. 0 plus 0 is equal to 0. Then 6 plus 8 is equal to 4. That is 14. Carry 1. Then 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. That is 240. And 240 plus 80 is equal to 240 plus 80 is equal to 0. Then 4 plus 8 is equal to 12. Carry 1. Then 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. So, since hanggang 300 pa lang ang kinukuha natin, so hanggang 240 lang tayo. Kasi pag mag-plus pa tayo ng 80, sobra na siya sa 300. So, 1, 2, 3. Dapat yung tama lang. Huwag yung sobra. So, 3 times 80 is equal to 240. So, 240. So, 300 minus 240 is equal to 0 minus 0, that is equal to 0. Then 0 minus 4 cannot be. So, magbabarrow tayo. Itong 0 ay magiging 10. Then, this 3 become 2. So, 10 minus 4 is equal to 6. And 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. So, 0. Then, bring down the 0. 600 divided by 18. So, kung sa 380s ay meron na tayong 240. So, meron na tayong 240. So, 240, meron na tayong 380. So, kung magdadagdag pa tayo ng 240 para sa another 3, so 0 plus 0 is 0, 4 plus 4 is 8, then 2 plus 2 is 4. So, meron tayong 480 sa, ano pa lang, 484, 680s. So, ang kailangan natin is 600. So, plus 80 again. So, 80 plus 80. 0 plus 0 is equal to 0. 8 plus 8 is equal to 6. 16 carry 1. 1 plus 4 is equal to 5. So, meron tayong 560. At ang natitira na lang para maging 600 is 40. So, hindi na kasya sa 80. So, meron tayong 7 na 80 for 560. So, 37, may 7 yan 37, ang answer natin is 37. Then, 7 times 80 is equal to 560. So, 0 minus 0 is equal to 0. 0 minus 6. So, cannot be. So, magiging 10. 10 minus 6 is equal to 400. Then, 40. Add 0, 0. So, may 400 tayo. So, since 400 divided by 80 is equal to 5, so meron tayong 37.5 and 5 times 80 is equal to 400. Yes, that's correct. So, 400 minus 400 is equal to 0. So, ang answer natin is 37.5. So, 37.5 erase. So, our answer is 37.5. So, it will take 37.5 weeks for 80 workers to construct a 15 kilometer of highway. So, kailangan nila ng 37.5 weeks for 80 workers yon. Then, so, that's all for the joint and combined variation.